Hey, what's going on? My name is Derek, otherwise known as Wizrad, otherwise known as Game Reviews, and yes, this is my return to the content creation business. And this is my introduction video to my brand new podcast and brand new YouTube channel called No Filter, a Nintendo podcast. Yes, No Filter, a Nintendo podcast is my brand new endeavor here on YouTube, and I just want to make this introduction video here on my Game Reviews channel to introduce you guys to this new content I'm going to do and let you guys know what I've been doing lately, and also kind of reminisce about my last channel, Game Reviews, that I haven't really posted to or done anything for basically 5 or 6 years. So, this is going to be very interesting, and it's honestly kind of surreal talking to you guys right here, right now, because, I've missed creating content on YouTube for so long now. Life catches up with you, and, just being able to speak with you guys again, I have so many good memories from back in the day that I think this is going to be a really special, not just for me, but hopefully for some of you guys that really liked my content and will follow me through my journey here as well. I was going to do this long bit just to plug all my my YouTube channel, my Twitter, my email, all that stuff, but just check it out in the description below, and at the end of this video I also bring them up as well. But please follow me on those. This Game Reviews channel will not be getting any additional content really going forward. I might do one more video on this to hopefully capture anyone else who's interested in following me on my new endeavor, but this is pretty much going to be it for the Game Reviews channel, and you guys can all refer to the No Filter, a Nintendo podcast channel going forward. To start off, where have I been? So again, life kind of catches up with you. I had to go through university, and I got my job coming out of university, and I really want to kind of get settled down first, really get in there for the first year, 2 years of work, and here I am now. I felt like this is a time in my life where I actually have the free time where I could do this. I've always been involved watching people's content, or, now I am on Twitter and stuff like that. But, there's always been this one part nagging me in the back of my brain saying, I got to be creating some of this content here. I can't just be, just listening to other people be ignorant. I got to be the ignorant one. So that's where I've been, I finished school in the workforce, and here I am now. One of my favorite hobbies is video games, and talking about them and specifically is a big joy to me. Another of the reasons is I've been a big podcast fan for the last 3 or so years. I listen to a lot of video game podcasts, like NVC, Radio Free Nintendo, Go Nintendo podcast, stuff like that. But I also listen to other podcasts like Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast is absolutely hilarious, one of the best comedians ever. But I also listen to 99% Invisible, which is great, This American Life, Criminal, a lot of podcasts like that. And I feel like the podcast as a medium is perfect for the kind of content I'd be looking to do, looking to create. I feel like I could have some ideas and thoughts that I can really dive into with some detail, hopefully not too long or anything like that. I can ramble, but I think the medium is perfect for what I'm looking to achieve here. Another of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast was because of the community. Recently I went to my Game Reviews channel. I scrolled down the comments of one of my older videos just to, just reminisce, or I guess I don't really know why, but what I started to realize was so many of these usernames that I had here, so many of my subscribers and people just watching my videos, they jog so many fantastic memories from 6+ years ago, So I actually created a list here of just some of the names I noticed in that one video there. And I was just scrolling down, and I noticed these commenters, and it was a great blast to the past. And I'm just gonna lightning round these names here, and I know I'm gonna be missing a ton of you, but this was a great time back in the day, and I love the community and the discussions that we had. So here it goes, lightning round, boom. Nintendo Ultra, Me Dylan, Axis Magnus, Ekni Banjo, CG Suzuki, Amar Ma, Easy Luigi. I'm totally gonna butcher half these names, by the way. Digital Green Tea, Tony Rendy, Pyro Tycoon, Young One Price, Active Gamer Life, Black Baron, aka Slayer 101, The Video Game Her, Huvie186, Super Brothers, Mizzy, KSid91, Patriot, Deluxe Goose, Paid Enthusiast, Rev Jesse Jackson, The One Just Joe Decidion, Sniping is Fun, etc., etc., etc. There are so many names and so many great people that were either subscribed or just in part of the community, and I really want to thank you guys for that, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to jump back into this podcast. That was a great time back in the day. And, it'd be great to see some of you guys again, just in the comment section or just on Twitter or whatever it is. I think that'd be great. Anyways, as you guys see, I have a list of icons that have been scrolling throughout the video so far. I'm trying to decide which icon is the best for No Filter, a Nintendo podcast. So I'd appreciate if anyone's interested, leave comments on which one's your favorite, or go on Twitter and leave me comments there, again, at Wizrad. That'd be appreciated. I'm trying to decide which one is the best. I put together a collage of the icons with a numbering system, 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 14A, whatever it is. And, if anyone wants to just comment which one is their favorite, that'd be appreciated. I'm going to be choosing that at some point in the coming future. So, I'd appreciate anyone's input on that. That'd be great to see. Now, what are my plans for the podcast? I plan for it to be a little more off the cuff. I don't like the rehearsed, scripted type of a podcast. I feel like it's not a very genuine conversation or discussion when it's like that, especially when it's a solo one like this. I don't feel like it should be just basically me reading a script off to you guys. But I do plan it for it to be a little more structured. I'm kind of basing this off of my criticisms of other podcasts where I'm saying, I love this podcast, but I just wish they didn't go on this tangent for as long as they do here or something like that. So, again, this is a learning experience for me, but I'm trying to do my best to make a podcast that I'd like to listen to, that hopefully you guys would like to listen to as well. Another thing is community involvement, whether it's on Twitter, my email, or in the comments section of YouTube videos, on my YouTube channel, No Filter Nintendo Podcast plug. I want to incorporate anything, whether it's topics you guys want me to discuss, questions you have for me, comments on, reviews or anything like that you want from me. I want to involve that as much as I can. And not only that, I want to be able to have guests on this podcast. And I don't mean just any YouTube personality or anything like that. I mean actual listeners, whether they're YouTube personalities or not. I want anybody who is interested in this stuff, who's interested in what I'm saying, and or interested in having a discussion with me. I want to be able to have them on the podcast as well. That might not be for at least a few weeks, and I'll let everyone know when I want to have a guest, kind of a thing. But I just want to have meaningful gaming discussions with some good friends here. So that's one of the main goals that I have for this podcast, and I hope you guys are excited about that, because for me, I feel like that'd be a great incorporation here, and actually just be able to speak with just the subscribers, the community, and I think that's the best way to go with this. And now, here are the segments for the No Filter, a Nintendo podcast. So yeah, anyways, guys, I put together 9 segments that I've been thinking about again for the past few months. And these are what I think I'm going to be kind of going over. Not all of them will be every week. Some may be. Just kind of depends what your guys' reactions are, how much I enjoy doing them, and that's kind of how it is. Please, again, leave in the comments. Give me a comment on Twitter, email, whatever it is. Any other segment ideas you guys might have, or anything you might want me to discuss. Again, I'm completely open to this as a community thing, as long as it's my voice who's talking about it. Anyway, so segments. Number 1 is intro. So this would be just my greetings, plugs, episode number. I'd be if I have anyone guesting on it, that's kind of thing, and that's most likely in every single podcast that I have. Number 2 is what I call the biz. So this would be news segments of hot recent topics, any games I've been playing, any reviews I kind of want to quickly discuss. I won't make reviews too long or anything. And any other entertainment as well. It doesn't have to be just Nintendo. It could be movies, it could be books, anything like that. TV shows, etc., etc. So number 3 is what I like to call hot matches. So this would be kind of a random segment about any topic that either I come up with or that you guys come up with. A full segment meaning probably a good 10-15 minutes to discuss just about that one topic. Number 4, which is my most excited, and I feel like a lot of you guys might like this as well, is called the No Filter Rant. It's a rant about gaming culture and anything that really annoys me in the video games industry. So expect a lot of ignorance, but I think a lot of wisdom. So I think that could be one of the better segments. That won't be a every week thing, I don't imagine, or maybe it will. I might just be annoyed a lot more than I plan on. 5 is question time. So this again is just reading any listeners' tweeted questions or email questions or anything like that. Comments, I can't guarantee that every single comment will be in, but I imagine, at least for the very beginning, I imagine I'll be reading every single one, and if required, I'll put that in the next podcast. Number 6, I like to call the final countdown. Okay, I'll stop. And copyright, who knows? So that would be consisting of top 10 or 20 lists. You guys know I love my top 10s, and I feel like you can't get enough of those. I'd like to hear, obviously, your guys' top 10s and 20s as well. I plan on doing kind of a Twitter post beforehand to see what everyone else thinks as well, and then I can release mine out during the actual podcast. Number 7 is 20 questions. And trivia. So this would be like we're choosing a song, and then the other has to, if I have a guest, that other person would have to guess where it came from, and if extra points if they know the song title, that kind of a thing. And number 8, which is prediction pontification. This is where I, as I wrote here, I provide my ridiculous predictions that 50% of the time are correct every time. Hopefully you guys know what I'm referencing there, but yeah, so that would be my prediction set. So say there's a Nintendo Direct coming up in the future, I'll provide my predictions for that Direct. Or say at the end of the year, I predict what Nintendo's going to do the rest of the year or something like that. So those were the segment ideas, guys. So please, if you guys have any thoughts or any suggestions, any other segment ideas you have, please leave them in my Twitter in the comment section below, or on my email, nofilter_wizrad@hotmail.com. So my final update for my plans on this podcast going forward is that I'm using YouTube here as more of a startup, kicking it off here, and I plan on following through and keeping the YouTube page active throughout with every episode. However, I am planning on hosting the podcast on either SoundCloud, Libsyn, or one of these sites, creating an RSS feed and really going all out on the podcast. So I do have bigger plans for it going forward, where it'll be available on multiple platforms and available for you guys to listen to in MP3 and just on your train to work or something like that. So that's the plans going forward for this podcast. I just wanted to say how excited I am and how happy I am to be back in the content creation world. I hope you all join along for the ride here. I feel like I'm filling in a little bit of a gap in the Nintendo community here. It seems so very like segmented nowadays, and when I look at podcasts, I see so many that are just run by, reviewing sites and people that are completely involved in the industry like that. I don't see too many where it is just very, hardcore Nintendo guys that have been there since, way in the tougher, Wii days and stuff like that. I feel like I'm filling in a bit of a gap there. There's been this big influx of Switch owners, and a lot of the mainstream and people who, say, for example, didn't buy the Wii U, and they're all coming back to it now. And not to criticize, it just seems like so many are just kind of the hype beast, they just hype everything up but don't actually talk about substance or talk about the games, and that's something I really do plan on bringing back here, Again, I feel like this is kind of a little gap that's missing, and I feel like I can fill that in. Just depends on how well I can do this and how well you guys kind of receive what I'm providing here, and how much advice I can get from you guys, because I'm going to learn more from your input and your feedback than I am just speaking to myself in a room here. So, I appreciate any of the help you guys give me going forward, and I hope everything kind of turns out well here. It might take some time, but again, I do appreciate any help that you guys provide to me. So I plan on doing one more pre-episode here on the Game Reviews channel, so hit me up with questions or anything that you want me to discuss before the ball really starts to roll. After that, everything will be on my No Filter, a Nintendo Podcast YouTube channel. So, please, show your support if you find any of this interesting, or if you want to follow kind of what's going on. No Filter, a Nintendo Podcast YouTube channel. Again, link is in the description. And again, guys, I'm super excited for this, and I really hope that you guys are too. To end this video, I'm actually going to be playing some of the intro music from No Filter, a Nintendo Podcast. This song is called Welcome Player, from a fantastic composer, Wizrad, from his album Songs from an Unmade World 2. Really gets your heart pumping, and I feel like it's a great pick for the intro music for No Filter, a Nintendo Podcast. And again, before I go, please, if you guys want to support, or if you want to follow what's going on with this podcast and me going forward, please follow my Twitter at Wizrad, my YouTube channel, No Filter, a Nintendo Podcast, and my email, if you have any questions, nofilter_Wizrad@hotmail.com. And with that, this has been the introduction video to No Filter, a Nintendo Podcast. I am Derek, aka Wizrad, and formerly Game Reviews. I'll see you guys in the next video.